If you follow this channel, you probably know that I'm a big Greg Lauren fan. You probably also know that I'm a big tweed fan, right? And when those two things come together, what is up everybody, hope you're doing well. In today's video I want to talk about Greg Lauren. Not sure if you've seen my Greg Lauren video that I did a couple of months back. If not, I'll link it just right below the like button so you can check it out after this video if you want to. But yeah, basically Greg Lauren has been a fashion designer for a couple of years now. Quick backstory, he is the nephew of Ralph Lauren, right? So fashion has always been in his DNA. And I've listened to a pretty cool podcast that I'll also link down below so you can check it out, where Greg talks about his past and his upbringing, and it's super interesting. One of the things that I took away is his whole family was so focused on style and fashion that when other families discuss politics or sports or whatever during dinner, they always discuss who's the most stylish person, and they always talked style. So fashion has always been in his DNA, but then he became an artist, right? So a painter, and he did I think sculptures as well. And then in one of the projects before he became a fashion designer was he basically wanted to do classic suits and classic American styles made out of paper. So what he did is he learned sewing with a machine, organized paper, and then basically reconstructed the classical pieces but made out of paper, and then he hand painted them. So that was sort of his segue into the fashion world. And yeah, then he became a fashion designer, mainly worked with old military fabrics, military tents, and repurposed them for new styles and stuff. So pretty interesting. I'll link the podcast down below so you can check it out and listen to himself. But yeah, as you probably know, I'm a big Greg Lauren fan, especially the older pieces, the early years. The newer collections, I don't know, there are some pieces that I like, but most of them are a bit too loud in my opinion, and yeah, I don't know. But before I show you my latest acquisition, I want to show you the latest Skinosh product. So this is a utility keychain clip sort of thing. So backstory is, look at this beautiful hook. So I found new old stock vintage military hooks, those, right? Insane quality, beautiful aged look, right? Not aged, artificially aged, but just by time. Yeah, I found one seller who sold those from the German military, and I bought all other hooks that he had, and then I thought, okay, what kind of product could I do that utilizes those hooks? And I think this is the perfect product that came out. So it's basically a hook that you can clip to your belt or a belt loop or whatever, and then attach your keys, right? So it's basically two of those vintage military hooks and then leather in between. So this version is the reverse culata, but then there's also a ostrich leg version, which is probably the craziest in terms of texture. Then there's also a blood red one, there's also a off-white colored one, and a structured cow version. So those are the versions that I currently have. As always, limited edition, right? I'm not doing this for fun, but I only managed to get a certain stock of those beautiful hooks, and once they're gone, unfortunately. I contacted the seller again and tried to get more of those, but unfortunately that's it. So yeah, check skinosh.com or follow Atelier Skinosh on Instagram if you want to check them out. But today I want to talk about my latest Greg Lauren acquisition. So as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the newest collection. Some pieces are pretty dope, but most of them are a bit too loud for me, and I don't know, not really my taste, but there's some products in between that I really love, and this jacket is definitely one of them. So there are many different versions of this jacket. I'm not sure if I know all of the versions, but there's this khaki beige sort of workwear jacket, which I really love. So this is probably one of my favorite. And then also a olive green military jacket, also pretty cool. The only thing I don't really like is that the jeans part is a bit too blue, right? I prefer the washed jeans version. Then there's also a plaid overshirt sort of version of this one, but I got my favorite, and that's the herringbone tweed version. And as you can see here, the jeans it's still blue. I would prefer it if it was even more washed, but it's definitely the most washed of all of them. Beautiful detailing, beautiful quality, fully lined as well. Right, so it's more of like, it's really a perfect mix like between a classic blazer and a jacket. And that's really hard to do in my opinion, right? So when you have a blazer, it's more fitted and tailored. It's also thinner. But then when you have a jacket, that's usually worn on top of other stuff, right? So it has to be a bit more roomy. So, and getting the mix between those is really difficult in my opinion. Here you have the inside tag. And here's the Greg Lauren logo. With the size tag, this is a size 4, which equates to like an extra large. And I would say like when it comes to like flannels and like typical Greg stuff, size 4 is pretty oversized on me. But for some reason those jackets fit perfectly, I think, in size 4 for me. Size 3 would have worked as well, but then it would definitely be more tailored and I couldn't like layer underneath. But I think size 4 is perfect for that. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I also had a Greg Lauren blazer in like this plate black and red version that's also half jeans, and that's a size 4 as well, and this was really fitted me perfectly, right? So more like a size 3. So I would say like the blazers and jackets and stuff, like they fit a bit smaller than the flannels, at least that's my experience. And yeah, crazy detailing. You can see here the vintage buttons, beautifully constructed. This is the inside, right? So you basically just have the jeans front and the collar, as well as here the sleeves. Yeah, I just love the distressing and the fading on the jeans. And then there's here the same button basically, where you can close down the sleeve, but you can open it up, and then those buttons are fully functional as well, right? So you can open it up as much as you want. And some people think that there's a full jeans jacket underneath, but that's not the case. So it's only the collar basically that's attached, and as you can see here, right, that's just the jeans part, and it's not even like fully attached. It's just like there's stitching here, and I'm not sure if you can see it here. Those are basically the attachments for the jeans part. So if you don't like it, you can even like just cut it off, I think, which I actually thought about, but I've decided against it. I'll wear it like this for a couple of months and then we'll see. But yeah, it's quite warm as well because obviously it's fully lined here as well. And there's no date tag anymore. I don't know why. Like the older pieces used to have like production date tags, which I really love because you can quickly tell like when it's from, and it also has like a more personal touch, I would say. Still super happy. So I bought this brand new, which is actually kind of insane when you think about like pricing for Greg stuff. It was a store in Italy, online shop, obviously can't travel these days. But yeah, had a crazy sale, so I bought this for like 65% off, and it was the last size. Luckily, size 4 is not the most popular size. I would say like Greg Lauren is mostly bought by Asians, and Asians usually are a size 1, maybe a size 2. But yeah, size 4 for Greg is perfect for me, and I'm happy if all of you are too small for that, so I can buy this stuff up. But yeah, as I said, the newest collection, or like the last season's, even not the biggest fan, but there's some gems in it, and this is definitely has those like old Greg Lauren vibes. And I don't know, I've had a discussion with a friend of mine recently, like I don't understand why Greg doesn't have a bigger following. I think especially like the older pieces, if you look at the old tailoring stuff, those are like masterpieces in my opinion. And yeah, I'm scouting like real daily to like find old stuff. It's really difficult, especially my size. There are a couple of like beautiful like tweed tailored jackets. I think there's one on eBay, but it's a size 1 or 2. And that's usually the size that is available. Obviously high price because the old stuff is pretty amazing. But yeah, it doesn't fit me, but I'm pretty happy with this. And yeah, let me just show you quickly how I wear this. So this is the jacket just on top of a thin t-shirt, right? Just to show you what the fit looks like. I usually button it down on like 2 buttons. And yeah, has this weird front, right, where the jeans basically stops there and then the tweed fabric goes way longer, obviously. Kind of weird in the beginning, I think, but I really like it. And then what I also did is I buttoned down the jeans part here. So you can basically put the tweed fabric here on top. And then it really looks like a relatively regular blazer, I would say. But yeah, the fit is beautiful. I prefer to have the collar standing, but obviously you can put it down as well. Pretty comfortable as well. 2 front pockets, so that's basically here the sleeve, right, that you can basically pull out and then unbutton here. And that's like a second option that I like, is to fold it over once and then basically wear it like that. A bit more freedom, looks really cool in my opinion, with the folded jeans here as well. So there will be another option to layer, right? This is a fleece shirt, pretty thick fleece shirt from Greg Lauren as well. Beautiful band color here. Just to give you an idea that this can also be worn more as a jacket, and that's probably the way I want to wear it, right? So outer layer for like spring. And I think this way the fit is perfect, right? It's still fitted, but a lot of the room is gone. And that's a pretty warm combination, obviously not for winter. Right now it's snowing like crazy, but for spring, that should be a beautiful option. And it's also cool that the jacket in front stops here, right? So you have the layers exposed. And it's really hard to, I think, like when you see the jacket for the first time, it's really hard to understand at first, like what is going on, right? Is he wearing like a jeans jacket underneath a blazer? Or like, why is the jacket stopping here? It's kind of weird. But yeah, super interesting and really like an artistic piece in my opinion. And yeah, beautiful vibes. And as always, Greg has pretty long sleeves, right? So when you don't fold them over, they're pretty long. Especially with the front length, really has those like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with those like old coats back in like 18 something, like around 1900. Especially in England, like they used to have those waistcoats that basically were super long, but then in the front they were like cut off. So that's kind of what this reminds me of. And I've always been a big fan of that era, right? So Elena Dawson really plays into that as well. But also some of the Greg tailoring pieces, right? He has like the Dickens blazer, for example, based on Charles Dickens, obviously, really like goes into that era as well. And that's an era I absolutely love. So yeah, pretty happy with this one. Bit of a focus on the tweed, and then the jeans, a beautiful play of materials here. Then with the vintage buttons. So that has been my latest acquisition, the Greg Lauren jacket. Let me know down in the comments if that's a jacket you like. What do you think about Greg? Do you like Greg or not so much? I understand both parts, right? If you look at the newer collections, everything's pretty loud and pretty out there. And I understand that you might not like him that much, but I think if you dig deeper, there's really like awesome stuff to be found. Also, check skinosh.com and follow me on Instagram for the utility keychain clip. Pretty cool piece. And yes, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. New videos come in as usual every Sunday, sometimes Wednesdays as well. And yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.